Amy Slaton and Chris Combs, stars of 1,000-Pound Sisters, recently discovered a startling revelation about their family background, which really clarifies a lot about the siblings. Amy and Tammy Slaton's weight loss adventures are the focus of the adored and scripted series, which debuted in 2020. Their brother Chris is among the other brothers who have joined in the weight loss effort. The majority of the 5 Slaton siblings, who now reside in the Kentucky region, have battled with their weight all of their lives. The Slatons have inspired others by losing a total of 1,000 pounds since they starred in 1,000-Pound Sisters. Although the Slatons have long known that their ancestors were from England, they recently discovered more about their family history thanks to a genealogy study. The Slatons investigated their lineage. The Slatons eventually made the decision to engage a specialist to look into their ancestry, after they had long made fun of the fact that they were related to the Queen of England. Amy and Chris will get the results of a genealogical test in a future episode. An expert who examined the 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6 co-stars' extensive family tree was able to determine that they have ancestry dating back to the 18th century. The startling revolutionary history of the Slatons. A genealogy specialist informs Amy and Chris in a 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6 episode. The furthest back I was able to get your family was this guy, Hugh Kirkwood, who came over from the UK in the 1700s. She informs them that during the Revolutionary War, Hugh actually suffered injuries. Amy and Chris made a joke about how the Slatons' constant fighting can be explained by their family's history as rebels. The Slatons went to the United Kingdom. The Slatons flew all the way to England to visit their relatives since decreasing weight made flying possible. Fans of the program are worldwide, and the photos were posted online by Reddit user u/Heaforthalols1999 after they spotted Amy and Tammy in London. It was obvious that Amy and Tammy were filming Season 6 of 1,000-Pound Sisters because the billboard stated that the Slatons were present along with a camera team. Slaton, Tammy, 400+ pounds were lost. Exercise, diet, and weight loss surgery. Slaton, Amy, lost more than 125 pounds. Exercise, diet, and weight loss surgery. Combs, Chris, lost more than 150 pounds. Exercise, diet, and weight loss surgery. Halterman, Amanda, lost more than 300 pounds. Had 2 weight loss surgeries. Misty Wentworth Slaton, not sure. Had weight loss surgery. Combs Brittany, not sure. Desires to have weight loss surgery. Amy Slaton and Chris Combs, 2 of the breakout stars of the reality television series 1,000-Pound Sisters, have captivated audiences with their unflinching approach to the struggles of weight loss, family dynamics, and personal growth. Over the course of several seasons, fans have witnessed the emotional, physical, and mental challenges Amy and her sister Tammy face, all while balancing family obligations, relationships, and their own personal health battles. However, in a surprising twist that no one could have predicted, Amy and Chris recently uncovered a major secret about their family history, one that would change how they view themselves and their roots forever. While fans were accustomed to seeing Amy's weight loss journey and Chris's role as a supportive husband, this revelation was something entirely new. A shocking discovery about their genealogy and the unveiling of a new family tree that had previously been hidden from them. The discovery didn't just reveal more about their biological heritage, but it also brought unexpected emotional responses from both Amy and Chris, as well as their family members. It sent ripples through their lives, sparking curiosity, excitement, and in some cases, confusion. The discovery was about more than just names on a family tree. It was about understanding their place in a much larger family history, one that would forever impact their future. This is the story of how Amy Slaton and Chris Combs uncovered the secrets of their genealogy, the revelations that came with it, and how it reshaped their identities. In this exploration, we'll break down the process of their discovery, what they learned, and the lasting impact it had on their lives. The discovery. How it all started. For years, Amy Slaton and Chris Combs knew little about their ancestral roots. Raised in Kentucky, the Slaton family had always been tight-knit, but the past remained somewhat of a mystery. Family stories had been passed down through the generations, but many of them were fragmented, filled with gaps and question marks about distant relatives, where they came from, and what their true family heritage might be. Amy and Chris had heard bits and pieces about their family history, but there was always a sense of uncertainty. Who were their great-great-grandparents? What was the story behind the name Slaton and Combs? These questions had lingered in their minds for years, but they were often lost in the shuffle of their busy lives. However, in a surprising turn of events, a decision to dig into their genealogy led them down a path they never could have anticipated. It all began when Chris Combs, motivated by a desire to understand more about his roots, decided to take a DNA test. While genealogy websites and DNA testing kits have become increasingly popular over the years, Chris's decision to learn more about his biological heritage was initially met with casual curiosity. After all, understanding his family's heritage could offer insights into his health and background, something that seemed important as he navigated his own weight loss journey. What started as a simple test soon evolved into something much larger. The results came back with startling information. Chris discovered connections to relatives he never knew existed, some of whom hailed from areas and regions he hadn't even considered. Intrigued by these unexpected findings, Chris shared his results with Amy. The excitement was contagious, and soon they both became fully immersed in researching their family trees. The more they explored, the more they uncovered. Through a combination of DNA matches, old family records, and even some surprises from distant relatives, Amy and Chris began to piece together a new family history, one that included a range of distant ancestors, some of whom had led lives that were far more remarkable than they had ever imagined. The new family tree, uncovering hidden ancestors, what they discovered was nothing short of shocking. As they dug deeper into their genealogical roots, Amy and Chris found new family connections that spanned continents, generations, and even cultures. For Amy, the discovery was particularly overwhelming, finding out that her family tree had branches she never knew existed. One of the most surprising aspects of their discovery was the revelation of an entirely new branch of family members from Chris's side, people who had lived across the country and even internationally. There were distant cousins in places as far-flung as Texas, North Carolina, and even overseas, in parts of Europe. These newfound relatives shared common ancestors with Chris, but they were so far removed that their paths had never crossed before. Many of these relatives had no idea about Chris's existence, while others had been lost to time and communication barriers. For Amy, the discovery was similarly life-changing. Her family tree revealed ancestors who had lived in Kentucky for generations, and while she had always known her family was from the South, she never imagined the complexities of her lineage. She found family members who had been involved in significant historical events, including war veterans and pioneers who helped shape the region. Some ancestors had even been involved in the civil rights movement, a fact that left Amy deeply moved as she reflected on her own place in the world and the rich history of her family. The pair also uncovered unexpected surprises, including long-lost relatives who were able to provide new insights into their family's history. Some of these relatives had kept scrapbooks, old letters, and photographs that were now being shared with Amy and Chris, offering them a window into their ancestors' lives. This led to a deeper understanding of who they were, not just biologically, but in terms of the struggles and triumphs their family members had experienced over the years. Emotional reactions. The impact on Amy and Chris. For both Amy and Chris, the discovery of their new family tree was more than just an intellectual exercise. It was an emotional journey that changed how they viewed themselves and their place in the world. Amy, who had always been focused on her immediate family, her sister Tammy, and her children, found herself reflecting deeply on her family's history and how it had shaped her identity. Learning about her ancestors' struggles, resilience, and accomplishments made Amy more appreciative of her own family and her role within it. She realized that her journey wasn't just about her weight loss or her personal struggles, but also about continuing the legacy of her ancestors, many of whom had overcome immense hardships. For Chris, the discovery was a validation of his own identity. As someone who had always been curious about his background, the DNA test results and the subsequent family research filled in gaps that had been there for years. He had long wondered about his father's side of the family and was now able to connect with relatives he had never known existed. The realization that his family history was so rich and complex made Chris feel a deep sense of pride and belonging. Both Amy and Chris found that their newfound knowledge about their family tree brought them closer together as a couple. Sharing this journey strengthened their bond, as they supported each other through the emotional roller coaster of discovering new relatives, revisiting painful family histories, and exploring what their shared ancestry meant for their children and future generations. A deeper look into genealogy, the popularity of family research. Amy and Chris's discovery highlights a growing trend in modern culture, the rise of genealogy research. As DNA testing services like 23andMe and Ancestry.com have become increasingly popular, more and more people are delving into their family histories to uncover secrets, connect with distant relatives, and learn about their roots. For many, genealogy has become a way of understanding their health risks, learning about where they come from, and forging connections with family members they never knew existed. In Amy and Chris's case, the revelation of new family members added a layer of depth to their lives that they had never expected. Their story is a testament to how family history is no longer a static concept, but something that can be explored and discovered in real time through the tools of modern science and technology. The future, reconnecting with long-lost relatives. For Amy and Chris, the family tree discovery didn't end with the uncovering of new names and branches. Their journey into genealogy has inspired them to reconnect with distant relatives and possibly even meet some of them face to face. Plans for family reunions are already in the works, as Amy and Chris are excited to meet these long-lost relatives. Many of them are eager to connect, having heard of Amy and Chris through the show or via their own family connections. Amy and Chris have expressed a desire to bring their children into the fold, ensuring that their children have a sense of connection to the wider family network, not just the immediate family they've grown up with. Amy Slaton and Chris Combs' journey into their family history is a powerful reminder of the importance of understanding where we come from. Genealogy is more than just about names and dates. It's about discovering our connections to the past, understanding the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us, and gaining a deeper understanding of our own identities. For Amy and Chris, the discovery of a new family tree has been a transformative experience, one that has not only brought them closer together but also opened their eyes to the rich and diverse heritage they share. It's a story that continues to unfold, and we can only imagine where their genealogical journey will take them next.